Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about types of reactions. Last time we went over balancing reaction to satisfy the conservation of mass. Today is types of reaction. Um, we're going to start with the focus. You have three pictures. I think this is just copper, and this is silver. So tarnished a little bit, and this is copper after it's rusted or tarnished, and this is just an old car, rusted also. It says describe the appearance of unreacted copper, iron, or silver. Okay, they're usually metals are usually shiny and colorful, very pretty, but not in this picture. So they're asking, what do you think happened to the metal? Um, it looks like either exposed to gases in the atmosphere, uh, oxygen maybe, moisture. Just those are some of the factors that can cause rust to metal. Okay, today's objective is we're going to classify chemical reaction. We're going to identify characteristics of different classes of chemical reaction. And the review term is metal. They're solid at room temperature. They conduct electricity and they're mainly heat and electricity and they're mainly shiny. So the new terms that we're going to go over. One of the table that is very important in this case for when, especially for replacement, you get to decide if one element is going to replace another or not. It's based on the location of it on this table right here. So if it's higher, the higher it is, the most active, the lower, the least active. So if it's lithium, for example, is higher than iron, lithium will replace iron, but not the other way around. Potassium can replace magnesium, but magnesium cannot replace potassium. Okay? And the reason we classify reactions is because to be able to organize all the types of reactions. Now we're going to start with synthesis.
Synthesis reaction. A chemical reaction in which two or more substances react to yield a single product.
Okay, so two elements react together and form one. So sodium plus chlorine gives us sodium chloride. Two give one. The second type of reaction is called decomposition, and it's usually the opposite. It's usually one breaking down into its own elements. Okay, usually to break one compound is or molecule is required energy. So for decomposition energy of some sort, source of energy, heat, light, electricity is required to break the bond. Silver chloride breaks down into silver and chlorine.
Combustion reaction. A chemical reaction that occurs when a substance reacts with oxygen, releasing energy in the form of heat and light.
Okay. So you recognize combustion if you see oxygen in the reactant side. Okay. And usually CO2 and water are given off, or a lot of heat and light. Okay, this is kind of an explosion type of reaction. Now here's the one that I was talking about, single replacement.
Single replacement reaction. A chemical reaction that occurs when the atoms of one element replace the atoms of another element in a compound.
Okay, now if that element is higher on this chart, the reaction would happen. If it's lower, it will not happen. So A can replace B only if it's higher on that chart. So let's look at zinc and copper. Zinc is right, oops. Okay, I showed it on a different example, but zinc is right here. Copper is lower. So zinc can replace copper. Okay. Oops. Also, halogens, it's on the bottom right here. We use that chart also. The higher the halogens, the most likely it will it's more reactive and it will replace lower elements.
Double replacement reaction. A chemical reaction that involves the exchange of ions between two compounds and produces either a precipitate, a gas, or water.
Okay, so this one is usually replacing one another. So X would replace Y. Okay, double replacement. So X would replace Y and vice versa. Not really a good example right here. Okay. Double replacement is usually an example of
Precipitate. A solid produced during a chemical reaction in a solution.
Okay. So you mix two liquids and the end result is solid is being on the bottom of the beaker. This is some examples right here. Predict the following single replacement reactions if it's going to happen or not. So would potassium replace zinc? So we look at potassium right here. Zinc is much lower. So yes, zinc will replace potassium. So we'll end up with potassium chloride plus zinc. So it kind of kicks it out. Think of it as a relationship. One girlfriend replacing another, or vice versa, or boyfriend replacing another. Not a good example, but yeah. Okay, so let's say in a relationship, the separate girl is not doesn't really have it does not really have better characteristics than the original, so it will not happen. So in this case, chlorine is lower. Chlorine is lower than fluorine, so the reaction will not happen. So you put no reaction. Okay, and iron and sodium. Sodium is higher than iron, so iron will not be able to replace sodium. So you would write no reaction. Okay, those are a few examples. There's more on your, I think, handouts and more on the Teach Me examples. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, thank you.